Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is it. These are the final numbers for the Spider-Man movies. We're gonna see which movie made the most money, and I'm a little nervous. So let's get into this. So I'm gonna start from the bottom, the movie that made the least amount of money, and then I will get to the top of the chain of money with the other movies. So let's do this. So number six. The least amount of money made in a Spider-Man movie was The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it made over $700 million. That's pretty good. It still made $700 million. They still made bank. Like Spider-Man is one of those things where it's like it's gonna make money regardless. So we also have to keep in mind with that. All right, so moving on to the very first Amazing Spider-Man movie. That one made $757 million, a little bit more than the second one, which is pretty common of the first movie to make more money sometimes than the second movie, which we'll actually see here in a little bit. With the fourth one, Spider-Man 2, making $783.8 million, which is pretty crazy how the second movie is actually, in the Raimi series, the least amount of money made, even though it's considered one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. So it's kind of crazy how this movie in the Raimi trilogy made the least amount of money. But let's move it on to number 3 again. This one made $821.7 million. So again, the very first movie got more money than the second movie, which is kind of crazy. So, oh man, with number 2, Spider-Man Homecoming. This one made $879.1 million. And actually, this one just recently finished up. This one just recently, tallied up the amount of money, and yeah, it beat the two Raimi movies, 1 and 2. I'm pretty with money. I'm pretty sad about that. But I'm a little happy now because Spider-Man 3 is considered still to this day the most highest grossing Spider-Man movie. Well, actually not the highest grossing, but the most amount of money made in any Spider-Man movie, which is $890.9 million. That's crazy. So Spider-Man 3 is still the top Spider-Man movie to make the most amount of money. That's it's pretty cool to me how this movie's still standing on its feet. I think a lot of it has to do with, it's the black suit, so yeah, people are gonna go see Venom and all that. So there's that too. But let's get a little technical with this video, because this is not just about me telling you what the numbers are and the order is for the top Spider-Man movies that have made the most money and stuff like that. This is also about ticket sale prices. Let's talk about ticket sale prices. Now, basically what happens is every year ticket price sales will go up higher and higher, okay? I don't know if it's ever going to go down or if it ever is going to decide to go down, but let's get into this. So let's go all the way back to the very first Spider-Man movie, which is 2002, where tickets were selling for that year $5.80. And to take $5.80, and that makes $821 million overall in that year, is pretty impressive. It is really impressive. And a lot of people say sometimes in my comment section, "Oh, Spider-Man Homecoming is the best Spider-Man movie ever because it made more money than the other Spider-Man movies. Well, it didn't. Spider-Man 3 is still standing on its feet, you know. And Spider-Man Homecoming, when this year tickets were selling for about like $8 and something cents. So to compare the fact that, hey, it's the very first Spider-Man movie, people, movie tickets were about $5 to $6, and you probably got more people going to the theater because it's cheaper. So I guess I'm also trying to make this video because it's like, hey, maybe lower the prices, maybe more people will come to the movie theater, things like that. And then let's talk about Spider-Man 2. This movie is considered one of the best Spider-Man movies, but for some reason it made less money than these other Spider-Man movies that I talked about here on the top here. And tickets for that in 2004 were $621. So again, there's a lot of variables. It has to do with the amount of people going to the theater. It has to go with the it has to do with the ticket sales. It has to do with the amount of tickets that were sold. Things like that. So when people in the comments, when they say stupid things like, "Oh, it's the best movie ever," Spider-Man Homecoming is the best movie ever because it made more money than the other Spider-Man movies. Well, this person obviously doesn't look online or anything because guess what? Spider-Man 3, even though it was, the tickets for back then in 2007 were selling they were not selling at like $688. 2017, they're like $8 or $9 or maybe even $14 these days if you go to like IMAX and stuff like that. Okay? So when you say things like, "Oh, the movie, is better because it's made more money," that is the dumbest excuse ever. I hate when people say that in my comments, like, "Oh, it's the best movie ever because it made more money." It doesn't make it the best movie ever. Like I just said, Spider-Man 2 is considered one of the best Spider-Man movies ever, but yet it made the least amount of money in the trilogy. It's not always about the money. It's also about the way the characters captured, the way that the movie presents itself, the tone, everything, the writing, just everything about the movie itself. It's not always about how much money do you make. And I feel like these days a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, this movie's better because it made this more money. Obviously, this is more popular." No, that doesn't mean that. It just means that, people either... And another thing I want to say, just because it got second place as the most amount of money a Spider-Man movie's ever made doesn't mean that it's any better. It doesn't. Again, tickets are selling this year for $8 to $9 or $14 at IMAX. So you got to think about that too. You got to think about the amount of people going to see the movie. You got to think about the amount of tickets that are sold. There's a lot of math involved. There's a lot of variables and things like that. But obviously, I'm not going to sit here and go over all of it with you guys. But yes, that is it, man. That is the box office roundup. That is the finale, man. This is the finale of my fight against that movie, man. I'll be honest, I'm sad that it did pass Spider-Man 1 and 2, but it didn't beat Spider-Man 3, so I still, and again, like I said, I don't like, that sounds contradicting when I say, "Oh, money doesn't matter," but now I'm saying that I'm glad it didn't pass the mark. I guess I'm just saying that because because I get those people who say, "Oh, it's the best movie because it's making more money," and stuff like that. So this should shut them up. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. What you think about the fact that, the final roundup here for the box office records, and maybe even your overall opinions about like all these movies or things like that. But But yeah, guys, this was a very interesting, long, and boring video. I apologize for that, but I really wanted to talk about this because this was something I was paying very close attention to for ever since this movie came out. I've been going to Google. I've been watching the numbers for this movie rise and rise and rise. And when it finally stopped, when it finally just slowed down, then I was like, I just breathed. Like, I was like, ooh, man. Because I was worried that, I was worried. I was worried about people going to see this movie. But I'm sure a lot of people, if you've seen this video, have already seen my review of Spider-Man Homecoming. And like I said, it's not something I'm proud of. Even though it's my second most viewed video ever, and it hurts. It hurts that I had to make that video. Man, like I said, I wanted the movie to be good, but I was tricked. Like I said, I was tricked. I thought it was gonna be like the animated series, or hell, even the Spectacular series. It was nothing like that. It was just bland, boring, and it was just stupid and confusing. And I know a lot of people, you hate me saying that. I know a lot of people are saying that, oh, you're wrong, this is the best movie ever, blah, 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 but it's over now. It's over now. I can't change your mind about whatever movie you like. I can't change your mind if you like Spider-Man 2 is the best movie ever. I can't change your mind if you like Spider-Man Homecoming is the best movie ever. Can't change your mind about that. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I can't, because then there wouldn't be nothing to argue with, nothing to agree or disagree with. So yeah, guys, it was a long fight with Marvel and this movie. For those of you who supported me with my review and my opinions about it, I want to say thank you to those people, all you people who supported me with that review I did, with all these Spider-Man related videos. Because it was rough for me to do anything Spider-Man related, because I would just get harassed. Like, I think it was like the first couple, it was 3 weeks. Like, every day, notifications would pop up on my phone saying either either one, they hate me, they disagree with me, and things like that, or two, they love me, they agree with me, and things like that. And that video, as of today, is still split down the middle as regarding like to dislike ratio. It's still split down the middle, even though thousands of people have watched the video or commented or liked or disliked, and it's crazy to see this sense of like how we see this character, and everyone has a different like image of Spider-Man, or a different like way they see him, or how he's supposed to act or talk or things like that. So again, thank you guys for supporting me with that, and it means a lot, because it was really rough that those first 3 to 4 weeks of me just like hearing everybody talking or hating me or liking me, things like that. 3 to 4 weeks of non-stop every day, a notification on my phone, either something about someone hating my guts, or the second one being how much they agree with me or love me or whatever. It was so rough that I just decided I can't even talk about it anymore. I can't talk about Spider-Man stuff. So, because everyone's got this this version of Spider-Man in their head, and when they don't agree with you and stuff like that, then it just becomes a fight, and it really gets annoying. And that's what I've been doing for the past year, is fighting with people on the internet. They're so lucky they don't see me on the street, man. I'm serious, because if this was on the street, or if this was in a freaking bar or school or whatever, there would be no talking. There would be like fisticuffs, okay? Like that's how serious this has gotten. You know, with this movie, and I'm glad that I'm finally done talking about this movie. I'm glad I'm finally done talking about these movies. And that's all I gotta say, guys. A little bit long-winded at the end there, sorry, but I just had to say my final words before I finish talking about this freaking movie. Like, I can't stand it anymore, man. I just can't. But mostly, it's not even the fact that I can't stand the movie anymore. I got to the point where I just can't stand arguing with people anymore. I can't stand sitting there and yelling at someone about how they're wrong, or how they're yelling at me for I'm wrong. It got so... And honestly, it taught me, like why big YouTubers don't always, like, talk to their, you know, all the comments, or like or love all the comments, because there are thousands, millions of people who comment, and when that happened to me, I was like, turn off my phone, put it down, don't touch it, just go play a game. Like, that's how serious it was. But I'm glad it's over. I'm glad for you. I'm very, you know, happy that it's over, and I'm very thankful for those who supported me. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Again, long-winded. I apologize for that. But again, final words, and yeah, it's over now. The box office roundup's complete. Those are the numbers, whether I like it or not, whether you like it or not. Let's just move on. That's all I want to do, is let's move on from this. And, yeah, guys. Till then, I'm out of here. Up and away. See you guys.